Hey, what's up guys, it's Kelly, welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute since I've actually sat down to film something, but today we're going to talk about some YA romance that I read just so that I could feel something. If you find yourself enjoying this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. It's been a while, okay, and it's been struggle city out here, but I have finally reached something of a turning point where I'm like, well, things are not going to get better unless I make them better, so we're working on that. So I've been trying to put more time into reading, I'm trying to get excited about content again. I'm writing, like consistently writing something that is not fanfic for the first time in a while. I've been drawing more, like I'm really making an effort to, especially in like the last 2 weeks, I've really been making an effort to like turn things around and get myself steered in the right direction again, because I've just let things get way out of control. I was looking for something that I knew would probably be like a fairly quick, fairly easy read that I could just enjoy, and I was looking at my TBR pile and my eyes fell upon My Mechanical Romance by Alexine Farrell-Filmuth, who is also known as Olivia Blake on the adult side. So this is a YA contemporary romance that was gifted to me by the lovely folks over at Pan MacMillan, and it just seemed like the perfect thing. Like, I am deep in my nerdy rom-com era. I wanted to read about two teens building robots and falling in love. Let me tell you, this did not disappoint. So one of our protagonists, Belle, has just moved to a fancy new school for her senior year, and she has never really given that much thought to her future. Like, she really wishes everyone would just stop talking to her about like college applications and what she's going to study and what she wants to be when she grows up. She's like, I'm 18, can I just be 18? Like, why are you expecting to have my whole life figured out? It's ridiculous. Agreed, but we'll get to that. So she accidentally reveals that she has a talent for engineering, and that gets her landed in the robotics club at her school. She's not one for team sports, she's not one for clubs, she doesn't know anything about robotics, she just has this kind of ingrained skill for like building things and making things that comes from having grown up with her dad, who also like tinkers with stuff, and she used to build stuff with him. So she has this just kind of innate skill, or this innate talent, but she doesn't really have the skill, like the technical skills and the knowledge to back it up. Enter Matteo Luna, who is like the school's golden boy. He is the team lead of the robotics team, he's the captain of the soccer team. It's a super like academically intense private school, so being in the robotics club is cool. So Matteo is just the golden boy, his dad is like a tech giant, and everyone's like, he's just gonna follow in his dad's footsteps, he's gonna go on, he's gonna study tech. He gets straight A's. Through her like coming on to join the robotics club, he sees something in her, and he recognizes all of the assets that she can bring to their team, but also that she needs the technical skills to back them up. So the two of them start spending a lot more time together after hours so that he can teach her like how to use the software, how to actually do robotics, not just like tinker with stuff and design cool shit. And as these after school afternoons continue, they start to realize that they haven't just built an exceptional robot, they've also built a connection. Teo's life is like perfectly mapped out. He knows that he's going to MIT, he knows that he's going to study robotics, like he knows his life is planned out, he's very focused, he's very serious, he's very driven. And like I said, Belle just is kind of aimless and directionless. So even as their connection is deepening, their very conflicting paths, their very conflicting plans for their future start to threaten to tear them apart. I just absolutely adored this. The plot I thought was really good. Like, I really enjoyed the setting of like the robotics team and then building these combat robots to go to regionals and nationals and do like robot fighting competitions. Like, why could I not go to this school? That sounds amazing. I'm just saying, like, if I'd gone to a school where I had the option of building robots in my spare time, I would be in STEM right now. I'm like 100% certain of that. So I thought that the setting and throwing this kind of aimless wandering girl into this very like high pressure elite school setting I really enjoyed, and the whole plot line of the robotics club and the robotics competition. Really enjoyed that. We've also got some other like family stuff going on. So Belle's parents are separated and it's kind of causing a rift between her and her dad and her brothers because everyone feels like they have to pick a side. Teo has kind of a strained relationship with his dad because he's so busy they don't really get to spend a lot of time together. And although in many ways what he wants for his future lines up with what his dad wants for him, the kind of pressure that his dad puts on him is just not conducive to a healthy parent-child relationship. And then the main romance itself was so cute. It's like all the delicious academic rivals to lovers vibes, but they were never really rivals. Like, he starts helping her really early on, but it's that same like working together, bonding over something that you're really passionate about, and like getting the opportunity to teach someone something and kind of learning and growing together and then developing feelings from that. Like, I just, oh, delicious. Absolutely loved it. Like, I've been reading a lot of adult and new adult romance and I just forgot how like sweet and wholesome YA romance can be. Like, this just brought me so much joy. The fluff and the angst, like, oh, the them coming together, the inevitable like third act breakup. It was all so good. I thought that the romance in this was so well handled, and like the tension between them as they both are like very, very, very clearly have a crush on the other one and like refuse to admit it even to themselves. The jealousy that comes with that, the inevitable breaking point. It was all just so good, so well handled. And there was such good character development for the two leads. There was such good character development for the two leads as well. I actually, as much as I'm saying like, oh, it was so sweet, it was so fluffy, I loved it so much, like, I actually had a bit of a hard time reading this book because I have both of the worst traits of both of these characters. So on the one hand we have Diego, who's like a super high achiever, has everything planned out, is always doing things for other people and never worrying about looking after himself. Like, everything that he has planned for his life, everything that he is like knows and is certain of, so much of that is to make sure that he's not like letting other people down, even when it's things that he wants and things that will make him happy. Like, so much of his motivation comes from the fact that he feels like he has to be perfect for everyone around him all the time, and man did I feel that. And then we also have Belle, who is smart but kind of aimless and directionless and doesn't really feel like she should have to make life-changing decisions at 18, which is so valid. Like, why are we treating people like children at 18 but then expecting them to plan and decide the rest of their life off of one decision of like where to go to college and what to study? She has these like built-in talents and she just doesn't always have like the drive and the tenacity to go after them and pursue them because she also has fears of like messing up, basically. Where Teo works super hard to ensure that he doesn't mess up, Belle realizes that if she doesn't commit to anything too much, then she can't fail. And those are the two wolves inside me, let me tell you. Like, I am the worst of both of these two characters. So it was an emotional journey for me. I just thought that was a very kind of realistic view of the way that they both acknowledge their faults and work to overcome them and slip up massively on the road to overcoming them, but also acknowledging that those things about them are not necessarily bad, they just need to be channeled in the right way. So like, being an overachiever is not bad. Like, working hard to do your best and trying not to let people down is not bad. It's just that there is a level at which that becomes toxic and you're actively harming yourself just to make everyone else around you happy. And likewise with Belle, like, it's valid to say, I'm 18, I shouldn't have to have my whole life figured out, but you also do need to just kind of woman up and make some decisions and give your life some direction at that point. I just thought all of that was handled so well. I don't know if I can remember another YA like contemporary romance that has had such well fleshed out characters with such good believable development. I just thought that this was exceptional in that sense. The writing sometimes left a little bit to be desired for me. It was just slightly on the side of like too simplistic, but so cute, so funny, so heartwarming, so charming. Multiple mentions of Catholic guilt, which I was here for that. Just so good. 4 out of 5 stars. Absolutely would recommend. And then staying on the YA contemporary in a super competitive academic setting situation, we have I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey McQuiston, which was also very kindly gifted to me by the lovely folks at Pan MacMillan. Now this is a true academic rival story, and we love it. I thoroughly enjoyed this book. Full disclosure, I did read this like a little while back, but it was also like mid-slump. I was really struggling, picked this up, read it in 2 sittings. I read My Mechanical Romance in 2 sittings also, just putting that out there. So we follow Chloe Green, an out and proud queer girl at a very conservative Christian private school, and a month before graduation, the principal's perfect daughter, Shara Wheeler, kisses her and then disappears. No one knows where she is. Her parents and the police don't actually seem overly concerned that she's gone. I mean, they're investigating, sure, but like, they don't seem that worried. The only person that really seems to be putting any effort into finding Shara is her enemy Chloe. So Shara and Chloe pretty much despise each other. They are academic rivals. The 2 of them are basically in the running to be valedictorian, and while Shara is every bit the like perfect preppy blonde princess, Chloe has like dyed hair, she dresses weirdly, she's super smart, clearly she's like Shara's only academic rival, but everything about her just goes against the grain of the kind of students that the school is trying to produce. So Shara and Chloe do not get along, which makes the kiss all the more weird. And she soon discovers that she was not the only person that Shara kissed. There's also Smith, her longtime sweetheart. Makes a little more sense that she'd be kissing him right before she disappeared. And Rory, her next door neighbour, who seems to have a bit of a crush. So the 3 of them, Chloe, her main rival, Rory, her bad boy neighbour, and Smith, her longtime sweetheart and boyfriend, team up into an unlikely alliance and follow a series of clues that Shara has left for them to try and figure out what's happened to her. They keep finding these little pink envelopes that lead them to each other and then lead them on this path that she's left for them. And as Chloe is following this trail of clues, she starts to realise that there might be more to this small town and Shara than she initially thought possible. My only criticism of this book is that I did kind of feel like it was like an academic rivals retelling of Paper Towns. Like, I got major Paper Towns vibes from this. Like, this enigmatic popular girl goes missing and leaves a trail of clues. Like, there is a major difference between Shara and Margot's motivations, but apart from that, the plot felt very similar to me. That's not, like, it's not a bad thing. I still really enjoyed the book. That was what I got from it, and I feel like no one else is talking about this. The other thing I feel like you should know going into this is that there's a strong suspicion, which I feel like is very much founded, that it is Faberry fanfic. As in Rachel Berry and Quinn Fabray from the hit show Glee. Now, I have zero problem with that. I am a-okay with people filing the serial numbers off of their fanfics and publishing them. And as we know, Red, White and Royal Blue was also based on a fanfic, so I am on board with the theory. And I found out about halfway through reading. I think I'd started reading it and, oh yeah, I'd started reading it and I was seeing the Paper Town similarities and I was like, I haven't seen anyone talking about this. And then I went onto Goodreads to see if anyone else thought that it felt like Paper Towns, and then I saw all these people talking about the fact that it was Faberry fanfic, and I was just like, mind blown. The rest of the book, I could absolutely see it and I loved it. I found Chloe and Shara incredibly unlikable. I did not find Chloe to be a likable main character at all. I enjoyed following her on her journey, but I really did not like her. Who I did absolutely adore were Rory and Smith, the two side characters. So anytime that they were around, I was like 100% here for it. I didn't love Chloe by herself. I still enjoyed reading her story, but the scenes with Smith and Rory were really where this shone for me. Shara we only see in flashbacks, and we get like hints of her through her note, but also she was just like eminently unlikable, and like she's going through some stuff, but doesn't change the fact that she is supremely unlikable, and I kind of love that about this. I feel like there's a certain amount of skill that it takes to craft a character that is supremely unlikable, but still have the reader be rooting for them. Like, I wanted Chloe to figure out the mystery. I really, really wanted Chloe to figure out the mystery. I wanted her to find Shara. I wanted her to win, even though I didn't like her. And I feel like that takes an amount of skill that I really appreciated. Like I said, I personally did not find the plot hugely original because I saw similarities to another book, but the plot was certainly enjoyable. I also really enjoyed the way that Chloe's relationship developed with Smith and Rory, and the way that you get to see her relationship with Shara change over the course of the book in a weird way because she's not there. Like, it's just the way that her perception of her is changing as she goes along this path, as she travels along this journey, that it makes her see this person that she's always had a very fixed idea of in a very different way. And that's just an interesting dynamic of watching someone's opinion change of someone in real time without them actually interacting with the person. It also had a mixed media element that I really, really loved. So throughout the book there are these segments called From the Burn Pile, and they'll be like, this is a prompt, well, this is a personal essay exercise. It might be like a note that someone passed in class, the code of conduct issued to Chloe when she starts, contents of one of Rory's tapes. Oh, so Rory keeps tapes as like a journal. He just like records himself talking instead of like writing out in a journal, which was a fun quirk that I liked. So yeah, there's all these bits from the burn pile. So as you're reading the story in real time and following Chloe along, you also get these things from the burn pile, which kind of help you piece together other elements of the story and kind of help you sort of start to try to unravel the mystery as you're going along. It's a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed that element to this. The writing was pretty standard. I really liked the writing in Red, White and Royal Blue. I found this slightly lacking a little maybe, but still like readable enough. It was clearly a very readable book. I read it in 2 days. So on the whole, just I thought that this was a really good time. Like, it was decently written. It was well plotted. I enjoyed the notes. I enjoyed the mystery element. I thought that the characters were really well developed and well drawn, and the characters that are not well developed and well drawn are done so in a way that I feel like adds to the strength of Casey McQuiston's characters, because we're seeing everything from Chloe's perspective. The characters that do feel a little bit flat and two-dimensional, it's because Chloe considers those people a bit flat and two-dimensional, and as her opinions of people start to change, so as the reader do our perceptions of people get to change, and that's like, there's an element of craft to that as well. So Casey McQuiston, as I found with Red, White and Royal Blue, I think that they have a real strength in writing characters and in creating and building characters and developing them. So on the whole, really, really, really enjoyed this. Absolutely would recommend if you are looking for just a fun YA contemporary that you will most likely race through, that has a little bit of romance, a little bit of mystery, them good academic rivals vibes. It's a really good time. It's a really, really good time. And I do want to stress it is YA, so obviously Casey McQuiston's previous 2 books have been new adult. This is YA. The spiciest it gets is like some making out on a bed and the assumption that 2 characters have had sex, where you come into the scene after the sex has happened. Comparatively to the other two, this is very, very clean. It is YA, there's no sexy times, there's like some bad language, but just like Shara Wheeler, this book is a clean teen. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars as well. I would say this one, if you're looking for more romance vibes, like this one definitely is fluffier and cuter, and this is gonna warm your heart, and this is going to like entertain you and take you on a ride, but absolutely would recommend both of them. So that is it for me today. Thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you aren't already. Let me know in the comments what you thought of either of these books that I've spoken about if you've read them. Also, like, feel free to recommend me more things along these lines. Like I said, I am in my nerdy rom-com era. YA or adult is fine. I'm always down for academic rivals to lovers. I started writing an academic rivals to lovers story, but I am so much of a simp for my characters that inevitably my characters are too much of simps for each other for me to write a true like rivals to lovers story at this stage. So I am still craving those good academic rivals to lovers vibes, so hit me up with suggestions. I hope that you enjoy these should you try either of them. There will be Blackwell's affiliate links in my description. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully content and reading will return to some sort of better schedule in the near future. Like I said, I'm trying to turn things around for myself. In the description you'll find links to all of my other social media. That's my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Goodreads, my blog, and my TikTok. You'll also find links to my Ko-fi, my Blackwell's affiliate link as I said, my Redbubble store, and my website if you are looking for any editing help, any book cover design needs, anything like that. All of my other stuff is in the description. That's it for me today, and I shall see you all again very soon. Bye!
My life is grounded in